Okay, let's talk a little bit about aggressive dieting. There's been some recent discussion about how much available energy we actually have within our fat stores to use for the day, and it's based on this paper from 2005. Now keep in mind this is a bit theoretical and does need to be tested more, but in this paper they concluded that roughly 290 kilojoules for every kilogram, which roughly converts to about 69 calories per every kilogram that you have. And if you want to convert this to pounds, it obviously translates to about 31 calories for every pound of fat that you have. Say you only have 30 pounds of fat on your frame. If you want to maintain as much size as possible, you probably won't want to go below a 930 calorie deficit. Otherwise, your body might start using other available energy sources like your muscle tissue. As I said, this is theoretical, but it is something to consider if you are going to go into an aggressive diet. Because personally, if I'm going to aggressively diet, it's not going to last longer than about 4 weeks. But then again, like I said, this does need to be tested and validated more. This is theoretical. However, looking into some of the research myself, I am a little bit more inclined to believe that there is some truth to this. All my aggressive dieters out there, make sure that you are not doing this for a long period of time, and especially make sure that your calories are not going too low. You potentially want to see some of your muscle start wasting away.
To maintain muscle, especially you're building muscles, right? To maintain it, you need to take your body weight times that by 10, and that's your calorie. That's your maintenance. Then you need to make sure, in your attempt to lose body fat, right? Your weight loss journey, while trying to maintain muscle, you need to burn more than that. So let's say you're 250. That means your maintenance should be 2,500. So for you to lose some weight, you're going to need to burn 3,000 calories a day. And let's say you burn about 1,500 calories just by existing. Then let's say you do 10,000 steps. You burn another 1,000, so that's 2,500 right there. So you need to find a way to burn an extra 500, because that extra 500 that you burn, that is going to contribute to your weight loss, right? Because 500 times 7 is 3,500. 3,500 is 1 pound of fat loss a week. Now, if you want to lose 2 pounds of fat a week, then you need to do something. It burns an extra 1,000 calories on top of the 2,500 I just mentioned. So that's the way I do it, right? That's the way I look at it. Where it's like, if there is a basic amount of calories that you burn just by living, like 1,500 a day, for example, and doing 10,000 steps or more a day burns 1,000 calories, and that's 2,500. Right? Then you just need to burn more than that to make sure. You need to burn more than that to make sure that you're in a deficit. Because the idea is to burn more calories than you eat. But because we're trying to maintain muscle, you need to make sure you're consuming at least a minimum 100 grams of protein a day. And this is just to help you maintain muscle. More likely, you're going to be lifting weights. Right, so basically you need 50 grams to maintain and 50 to build, because more likely you're going to keep lifting weights anyway. It's not like you're going to stop working out and just eat the protein, right? You're going to still be going to the gym, so you're going to need 50 for maintenance and 50 for gains, right, roughly. And this will add up to over 1,400 grams a week of protein. And for 1 pound of muscle, that's roughly 454 grams. That's how much a pound of muscle is. 454 grams. Same for fat. Fat is 454 grams. But anyway, so you want to make sure that you are eating at maintenance, but you are doing cardio, right? Doing your fat loss stuff above the maintenance. The thing some people do because they're lazy, I should know, I'm lazy as well, right? What we do is that we try to make it easier for ourselves, technically, right? You could argue that we're making it harder for ourselves is by eating less calories, so that way when it comes to burning more calories than we eat, right, the calories out part, we have to do less for the calories out part, right? like I said, it's good in one way, right? The whole theory of it, but bad in another way, because realistically, you're not going to be too happy eating less calories, because a lot of times eating less calories, most people end up eating less food to do so, when they shouldn't. They should eat more food, but make sure it's all low calories so it all adds up to a lower number. But that's for another conversation. The main point is, in this scenario, we want you to specifically eat your maintenance and then burn more calories than your maintenance, so that way you can keep losing weight but still maintain the muscles you have, right? Just want to make sure you're putting in more than enough calories for your body to use, to process, because we don't know 100% what calories get used at what time. We don't know when you work out, right, doing cardio or lifting weights, that your body uses stored calories first, and then any calories you eat second, right? We don't know if that's how it might be the opposite, right? Your body, when it comes to cardio and weightlifting, it uses any calories you just consumed before it taps into your fat reserves. So it just depends how your body, chooses to use the calories. So we don't know 100% what calories your body uses. We just know it definitely uses calories, right? So more reason to make sure that the calories that come in is less than the calories that go out. But in this scenario, we want to make sure the calories that come in is our maintenance calories, the calories that we are definitely going to need to, function, right? And then, whatever extra calories you can burn off from working out will go into, ideally, your fat reserves, so that way you can, obviously lose fat. But the idea, right, is to empty the fat cells, to empty out more fat cells than the fat cells that get filled up. So even if the fat cells are half full, it's better than them being all full, because 454, let's say half a pound worth of fat cells is just half a pound, right? But if it was full, if all the fat cells were full, there'll be a full pound, right? So being able to cut the fat cells, in half in capacity by burning a lot of calories would obviously be the ideal scenario. So that way your body weight goes down fat wise, and of course you build up the muscles, maintain what you got. So I think the term for it is main gain, basically. Put on muscle while you're on either a maintenance or a slight surplus. But as long, because you can eat more than your maintenance. Like, let's say in this example was 2,500 calories. Let's say you eat 3,000 instead. Well, you're going to need to burn 3,500 calories. You're going to have to burn an extra 500 to make up for the fact that you're eating an extra 500. So you're in a 500 calorie surplus, but because you're going to burn more calories than that, it cancels it out, right? It makes it where you're not going to be gaining weight, but you're definitely going to have more calories that came in that your body more likely, right, probably going to use to maintain muscle and other biological functions. Right? High probability that whatever calories you eat, your body wants to use it, which is why you feel hungry, because it's like, hey, go get some calories, because like we need the calories right now, we need it for something. Go get that calories because we need to spend it right quick. So that's probably why we get hungry, all right? Because we need calories now for something, because we're not trying to dig in our piggy banks, right? So our body stores fat for emergency, so it'd rather not use that for just you living. So it's going to force you to want food, want more calories, so it can use that instead. But more reason to give your body just what it needs, not more, right? Not less, because then you're just forcing it into cannibalization, essentially, into dipping into your savings, basically. So that's that scenario. But if you don't care about some muscle loss, and you definitely want to slim down, then you can do the opposite.